Topic number 1, beg your pardon. Woo,
Yeah,
we had some pardons this week. Greg
yeah.
Olier, what are your thoughts?
Well, and I talked about this a little before, and I think, strategically, I want to keep bringing it up because I think strategically it's a thing. Like he pardoned the J6 besiegers. He pardoned these people that stormed the Capitol, that vandalized, that menaced, that were violent, that killed. That's who
Yeah.
he pardoned on the first day that he was there. All of them, for the most part. So this is horrifying on many levels. And we're going to get to this also with our guest when she comes on in a little while. But, it creates this situation, obviously, where you now have these angry people who are violent and who are now beholden to Trump and think that and probably rightly think that they can basically do whatever they want forever and nothing's ever going to happen to them. Everybody that testified at their trials is now in mortal danger.
Yeah.
That's not a small thing.
No.
And, it just makes them, it's not what the pardon power is supposed to be used for. And I think this is something that, we're always looking for something that's going to penetrate these fucking MAGA heads, right? Like literally a plague could not do it. But this sort of thing, that the egregious kind of corrupt, obvious, not what the pardon power is meant for here. I think that did rankle people, and some of you can see it. I don't know if there's polling out, but there does seem to be this kind of backlash against that, and even anecdotally. And I feel like if we lean into that, because nobody likes corruption like that. Nobody likes people who cheat at cards. Nobody likes that kind of thing. And this is just cheating. Now, if we go back and look at what he did the first time around and the people he pardoned the first time around, it is also a catalog of horrible people that shouldn't have been pardoned, and the whole fucking thing was corrupt,
And,
right?
connected to him, worse than Mark Rich times 8,000. It
Right.
was, you had the guy that ran the gambling shit out of his town. It's a friend of Kushner's. You had Charles Kushner, who's now ambassador to France. I
Right.
mean,
Well, he knows
woo!
he's going to go storm the Bastille, I guess, or go to the Bastille. I don't know. There's a joke there somewhere.
Somewhere.
Um, but he pardoned like any Republican politician that's in jail. He pardoned all these like fraudsters and
Mhm.
bribe takers and all these, Duke
Yeah.
Cunningham and people like that. War criminals he pardoned. Remember Ed Gallagher, that guy? That was a pardon.
Yeah.
Which we were worried about at the time, and now that's like nothing, right?
Yeah.
GOP operatives, like remember the Paul Erickson who was like Maria
Oh,
Butina's,
yeah, the
yeah, that
boyfriend.
guy,
Yeah.
and then like co-conspirators, like
Yeah.
he did crimes. He tried to do stuff with these people to fuck with it, and he just pardoned everybody. Stone and Flynn and
And
Manafort and
so
all these, Bannon, all these guys got pardons. And we said at the time, and I think a lot of people said at the time, Glenn Kirshner, I remember, was very adamant about this:
yeah.
contest the pardons. This isn't how pardon power is supposed to work. Let the fucking Supreme, they might decide that no, in fact, the Constitution says the president can do whatever he wants, which is probably true, but at least try.
Yeah. At
Let's have
least
a
point
court
it
case
out.
about it.
At
Like,
least
if somebody walked to the White House and gave Joe Biden $4 million and said, "Here, I'm going to give you this, pardon me," and he said, "Okay," and took the money and pardoned him, we would all agree that would be bad and illegal, right?
yeah.
But it is actually legal. I don't think it's illegal to do that. I mean,
Wasn't the reporting that he was
yes,
offering pardons for 2,000,000 a
it
pop?
wasn't. It was in Noelle Dunphy's lawsuit, so
Okay.
I think she has audio of him talking about it.
Okay.
Uh,
Alright.
so yes, but like that's not the way this shit is supposed to work. So again, if people bring this up, if they, in your life that are, or MAGA or voted for him or on the fence, he pardoned cop killers. You're supposed to back the blue and all this, right? These people killed
Yeah,
cops.
and the Fraternal Order of Police did
Yeah.
come out, all of these, police entities and unions that backed and supported him came out strongly against all of this because they know how brutalized their fellow
Yeah.
officers were on that day. They really do. And they know that the Proud Boys is a domestic terror organization and the Oath Keepers, even though
Mm-hmm.
we've got a lot of infiltration there in some of these police orgs.